Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. On the show this week, we're in Indonesia to talk to one of the country's brightest prospects, Ihsan Mustafa, as he searches for the consistency that he hopes will take him all the way to the top. And we're in Singapore to profile a traditional hotbed of badminton talent, hoping to re-establish itself as the best school for player development, Monfort Secondary. Indonesia has a proud history in men's singles. Many of its sons have helped elevate the country's status within the badminton hierarchy, including the likes of 8-time All-England winner Rudy Hartono, 1995 world champion Haryanto Abi, and the sport's first ever Olympic gold medalist Alan Budikusuma. But that was then. Recent times have seen the country placing faith in its youth, in a bid to return to its past glory, and it's already showing some encouraging signs. After Firman Abdul Khalik's podium finish at last year's Indonesian Masters, 19-year-old Ihsan Mustafa has further galvanized hopes with another runners-up medal at the recently concluded SCG Thailand Open.
Intinya dari saya itu bersyukur.
I'm very thankful actually. I'm very happy to have been able to go as far as the final. There are a lot of areas that I need to improve if I want to finish as champion. Jonathan, Anthony, Firman and myself, we're very competitive against one another, but it's a positive one. We're a hardworking bunch. All of us have a great desire to succeed.
Kemauan semua mereka sangat besar.
Speaking to us at the country's National Training Center in Jakarta recently, Ihsan spoke to us about his early foray into badminton. If not for some persuasion from his father, the right-hander would have never picked up the racket in the first place.
Jadi kalau saya dulu mau minta uang buat jajan dari kaya saya.
If I were to ask for pocket money from my dad, he would ask me to follow to the badminton hall. Dad, may I have some money? Go with me to the hall first. Initially, I didn't like badminton. I enjoyed football then. So every time I got the cash, I'd go to the soccer courts. But that's how I started playing badminton. My dad insisted that I keep practicing it. So that's how it began for me.
Ya dari situlah mungkin saya kenal badminton.
Since then, Ihsan hasn't looked back. Starting with triumphs at schools championships, he was soon courting attention from one of Indonesia's premier clubs, Jarum.
Di situ ada pertandingan kayak antar sekolah.
At that time, there were inter-school tournaments and I became champion. I was very happy to be popular with my friends and teachers because they were proud of my achievements. Usually, to get selected into Jarum Badminton Club, you have to take part in the public trials, which I didn't. The turnout was just too many, and usually they take in younger players. I was already 15 and on my own, but I won against some of Jarum's better and older players. So, they invited me in.
Ya dalam abis itu ya masuk Jarum.
With Jarum's well-structured environment, Ihsan's development was rapid. After winning a title on the national circuit in 2012, he was selected for the Indonesian national team. The following year, he competed at the World Junior Championships and clinched bronze. Although the top prize eluded him, Ihsan learnt many lessons from the experience.
Dalam pertama masuk pelatnas itu mungkin yang saya merasa senang itu waktu di kejuaraan dunia junior tuh.
One of the first few tournaments with the national team that I was happy about was the World Juniors. I got into the semi-finals, but there was regret as well. I thought I should have gone further. Maybe I was just too ambitious and I was too tense. I learned to keep calm no matter what. That tournament was everything to me then. I was able to do my country, parents, family, and everyone else proud. If I was to do well, they'll feel just as great.
Mereka juga bangga punya saya gitu.
2014 was the beginning of Ihsan's senior performances. A Dutch Open runner-up finish that year, plus a pivotal role in helping Indonesia to the team gold at the recent Southeast Asian Games, were signs of the world number 39's promise. His strong showing in Thailand is the biggest indication to date. But facing veteran Korean Lee Hyun-il in the final, he began to fall into his previous bad habits.
Nah, waktu di final mungkin malah kebalik.
In the final, I was back to my old ways. I was too eager and I felt unsettled. I was thinking, I just need one more win. If I'd just stayed calm from the start, maybe I could have won. And a lot has to do with my inexperience. He was able to change his playing style while I was just stuck. I wasn't able to keep up. I should learn more from his experience.
Harus lebih belajar lagi dari pengalamannya.
And with 2015 fast coming to a close, Ihsan's already planning to finish the season strongly. The ambitious shuttler hopes to continue improving in the years ahead as he seeks titles not just for himself, but his country as well.
Saya ingin cepat main di Super Series level.
I want to get to the World Super Series tournaments quickly because those are where the world's top players compete. And I know if I want to do that, my ranking has to be higher. From now until the end of the year, I should just focus on improving until I get into the top 30, 25, or 20. I also hope we get team titles like the Thomas Cup and the Sudirman Cup. These are for the country, not just for ourselves. Also the SEA Games and Asian Games as well.
Kayak SEA Games juga kan buat negara, Asian Games. Ya gitu.
Ihsan Maulana Mustafa may be every bit the men's singles hope that Indonesia's been looking for. Given more time and opportunities to grow, it won't be long before he starts winning the big titles.
Yeah, wonderful to hear the support from the home fans. Oh, fantastic.
A bag.
Watch. iPhone for my boyfriend.
iPad from my friend.
My parents. Because I feel without them, I'm not here.
Same. Very tall.
Very cool.
Superpower that how much I eat, I won't grow fat. Is that a superpower?
I hope I can live forever, ever. I won't die.
But it's good to see the Malaysian pair getting moving. They've got the legs moving now, starting to play with more confidence.
Absolutely brilliant.
The number one Malaysian women's doubles pair.
Trivia time! We want you to name the player who won the Bitburger Badminton Open in 2012, 2013, and 2014. We'll give you the answer later in the show. Still to come, Monfort Secondary School is on a mission to return to its glory days in Singapore. Whilst the creme de la creme of international badminton was battling it out on the courts at the Yonex French Open last month, the Badminton World Federation was showing some leadership off the court. The Stade Pierre de Coubertin was the setting for two formal agreements signed by the BWF with a view to attracting more members to the badminton community.
For me, badminton actually is very, very adaptable to any kind of environment that you are in. And you can see that. I mean, I've seen all over the world, I've experienced badminton courts in most remote places, in the rainforest, I've seen one badminton court, and one of the guys, actually, one of the children who was playing there, actually became number 3 in the Pan American Games.
It's this flexibility that has made the sport so enticing to a number of organizations hoping to find a way to boost their initiatives or programs. First in line was the signing of a letter of intent to collaborate between the administrators of international badminton and the United Nations on sport for development and peace. The BWF's grassroots initiative will be adapted so it can be used by the UNOSDP Youth Leadership Program.
We had some very good experience in our youth leadership program, what we launched in 2012. The aim of the program is to teach young people from disadvantaged areas from all parts of the world how to use sport as a tool for development and peace.
The two organizations have been working together on this initiative for a while, and the signing of the letter was a way to formalize and strengthen the partnership. It is hoped that this marriage will not only introduce badminton to a new audience, but by reaching out to those from less fortunate backgrounds, the sport can have a positive and profound impact on their lives.
Sport is a universal language, and sport has a power to unite people. You know who said so, Nelson Mandela. And it is true, if we have 2 rackets and 1 shuttle, we really don't need much more. You need not 1 word, maybe just do, come on, let's play, nothing more. And then you can start and have fun, having fun. And then friendship, first of all, respect. Respect is the most important thing. But if you respect your opponent, your partner, then you get friend.
On finals day, it wasn't just the likes of Lee Chong-wei or Carolina Marin receiving the applause. Fans were treated to 2 members of the Special Olympics badminton fraternity showing off their skills ahead of the tournament. This after the BWF and Special Olympics International, the sports organization for people with intellectual impairment, had signed a proclamation to work together. For both organizations, it was a positive development.
This is having a relationship with a federation like this and how powerful it is worldwide helps us start to create links using this as a model with other international world federations.
Strategy for badminton is to be at the multi-sport events, and the Special Olympics is actually providing the base or the platform of a lot of activities, especially for badminton. There's 110,000 players that actually are playing badminton in the community of the Special Olympic program.
As part of the agreement, badminton's world body will once again call on the strength of its shuttle time program to support coach training and education for Special Olympics International. The signing ceremony was on the back of cooperation between the 2 institutions earlier in the year. The BWF sent its top trainer, Joanne Hughes, to Denmark in April to conduct a series of training sessions for coaches.
It was superb. Those coaches that were in Denmark were in Los Angeles at our 2015 World Games, and you could definitely see that having that background, having that training raises the level of the quality of presentation to our athletes and training for our athletes.
The 2015 French Open was an all-round success. While the fans cheered on the good and the great at the elite end of the sport, there was also plenty to praise at the grassroots level as badminton continues to expand its appeal. Earlier in the show, we asked you to name the player who won the Bitburger Badminton Open in 2012, 2013 and 2014. The answer is Cho Tien-chen. The Taiwanese player made his impact on the international circuit by winning his first Grand Prix gold title in 2012 at the Bitburger Open. He successfully defended the title twice, taking gold yet again in 2013 and 2014. He currently ranks 5th in the world and is the #1 men's singles player in his country. Last week, the Grand Prix Gold Circuit returned at the Bitburger Badminton Open 2015. First up on finals day was the women's doubles, as Hong Kong's Poon Lok Yen and Zi Ying Suet took on China's Tang Yuanting and Yu Yang. The Chinese pair haven't played together since May's Sudirman Cup, not that you could tell by their performances. After just 34 minutes, Tang and Yu walked away with the title as they wrapped things up in straight games. Final score 21-10, 21-18. The men's singles contest witnessed an all-Hong Kong affair as Angus Ng Ka Long went up against compatriot Vincent Wong Wing Ki. Having defeated the top-seeded in their respective semi-final matches, both Ng and Wong were looking for one more good performance to take the title. In the end, it was an easy affair for Ng as he cruised to win 21-12, 21-13, the final score. England's Chris and Gabrielle Adcock took on Poland's Robert Matusiak and Nadezhda Zieva next as the tandem squared off in the mixed doubles final. Semi-final finishes at the recent Korea and French Opens had made the Adcocks favourites. But the unseeded Polish duo pulled off an unlikely upset on the day, clinching the gold in 2 games. The final score read 21-18, 21-17. It was the turn of the women's singles to take the spotlight as Thailand's Busanan Ongungwumpan faced Japan's Akane Yamaguchi. A beaten finalist at September's Yonex Open Japan, the Japanese shuttler was keen to make amends this time round. But the world number 10 had to battle for 3 games before finally nailing her title. Final score 16-21, 21-14, 21-13. Capping off the day was the men's doubles final, with Denmark's Mads Conrad Pedersen and Mads Pila Kolding providing opposition to Russia's Vladimir Ivanov and Ivan Sozonov. This was a repeat of January's Yonex German Open final, where the Scandinavians triumphed. And after 35 minutes, the result was to be no different this time round. The Danes again victorious as they won it 21-18, 21-18. After the break, we're in Singapore as we feature one of the best schools for player development, Monfort Secondary. This week's Players of the Week are Poland's mixed doubles pair, Robert Matusiak and Nadezhda Zieva. The world number 52 duo scored their first major title at the recently concluded Bitburger Open. Despite being unseeded, the Polish tandem battled their way through the tournament to reach the final, where they defeated their top-seeded opponents, Chris and Gabrielle Adcock, in convincing fashion. Whilst other badminton nations rely on their extensive club or academy systems to produce stars, the bedrock of Singapore's badminton development comes from their school system. And Monfort Secondary School has traditionally been the go-to institution for seeking out the best and the brightest.
We've always been a traditional powerhouse in badminton since the 1980s. We've been producing top badminton players since then, up till now. We have received strong support from our alumni, from our old boys, and also our school management committee, who's a very keen supporter of badminton.
Monfort Secondary has a number of sporting programs, but it's in badminton that it has excelled, winning 9 consecutive national titles in the B-Boys. It has also contributed to the national team with the country's current #1 men's singles player, Derek Wong. Top men's and mixed doubles shuttler Chayot Triachat are both former students.
Derek was with me since when he was in 2004. Yeah, we groomed him. He's a naturally talented player. When we accept him, he knows that he wants to be the top player in Singapore. He already get that drive in him. So from there, we nurture him, we develop him, and we groom him to where he is now.
But the badminton environment at the school's level has changed in recent years. Like the sport at the professional level, it has become more competitive. In 2011, the Singapore Sports School, a relative newcomer to the badminton scene, shocked Monfort and grabbed the boys' B national title. It is a title Monfort has never regained, and they are determined to win it back.
My responsibilities is to bring back the title, the national titles back to Monfort, and to maintain the tradition of badminton in Monfort.
Having studied at Monfort and worked together for a while, Kenny and his coaches are a close-knit group. And although regaining the glories of the past is a top priority for them, educating their students in the values of the school is also central to their plans.
Most importantly, we are not only coaching them, we are also educating them. So about sportsmanship, about values, and everything. So I'm glad to say that all of my assistant coaches are close friends of mine. So we work very well together. Some of them are my juniors in the national team, some are my juniors in Monfort, and some are even my former students. So we work very well together.
During term times, the students are put through the paces 3 to 4 times a week, with sessions increasing during the holidays when the major tournaments are likely to take place. Coaches are always on the lookout for ways they can strengthen the students' shortcomings.
It's a constant evaluation. So every time we ourselves, we will know that this player is improving or improving, and then we will talk to them. Okay, no, this area you are doing very well. Keep up the good work. If this area you're not improving at all, we will find some ways to talk to them, understand them more, get to know them better in why is this happening.
This kind of comprehensive, rounded approach to training certainly seems to benefit the players.
In game, I'm able to use my teamwork to communicate with my partner better and efficiently so that we can play the game well. In everyday life, I'm able to use my leadership to lead other people and help other people.
Monfort Secondary also has a number of other weapons in their armoury in terms of player development. Badminton trips abroad provide their students with an opportunity to match up against different styles of badminton, as well as learning to perform outside their comfort zone. And of course, there is their alumni of top-class shuttlers to learn from.
We have proven that any local player can become a national player. So that's very important. That is the dream for a lot of citizens in Singapore, especially for our own boys, which they can clearly see in the flash that their seniors are now in the national team.
In terms of trying to attract and recruit the top talent in the sport, the school also has a number of robust initiatives through their excellence programs, including the direct schools admissions and the Under-13 tournament.
We started this tournament with the main purpose of attracting the P6s, so that's students coming over to Monfort. So from there, we scout players, those who excel in the tournament. We will give them DSA or we will give them scholarships.
In the direct school admission scheme or program since 2008, where under this scheme, schools are allowed to take about 5% of the cohort through badminton, and we've been able to get top talents through this scheme.
So it seems badminton continues to play an important part in Monfort's future. And from administrators through to coaches to students, there's a determination to bring back those glory days.
The hope is that we will continue to groom these local talents, these top talents, to the fullest potential. We want to be among the best badminton playing school in Singapore, to be able to continue to do that with our current processes, and to produce the next Derek Wong.
Get connected with us. Log on to these websites for videos and photos and get the latest news and information on all things badminton. Missed an episode of Badminton Unlimited? Or perhaps you just want to catch your favorite episode again? You can do so at your convenience on our YouTube channel. All the best badminton clips are just a click away. Before we go, let's take a look at what's happening on the international circuit with our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we're in the presence of a former great and a player hoping to emulate his success. We get exclusive access to Kidambi Srikanth and Peter Gader as they tour Dubai. See you next week.